I'm going with cat. Is that cat or baby?
That's cat. That's cat.
Okay.
Ugh. It's going to be baby here real soon.
What is that?
Yeah, so just prepare to...
It'll be great.
It'll be perfect.
Y'all motherfuckers don't watch us play throughout the year, to tell you the truth. I'm going to be real with you, and I don't care if I get fined.
That must be Jeremiah with them.
That train is off the tracks.
Who doesn't love the bouncy castle?
Hitler.
Just prepare to... just prepare to be awash in unbeatable goodness.
Welcome, Pacers fans. You are listening to the Undebeatables, your semi-weekly Pacers podcast. Today is April 3rd, 2022, and this is episode 586. Coming to you from Indianapolis, Indiana, I'm your host, Joey Grafita, the man behind the dials and former season ticket holder. This show, we're going to discuss a flawless 0-4 week of Pacers basketball with games against Atlanta, Denver, Detroit, and Boston. Joining me this show are two of our three analysts, coast to coast, like buttered toast. First, from the high school home of Jameson Brewer, Silver Spring, Maryland, it's the doctor, Jason Triplett.
What is up, Pacers fans? What is up, Undebeatables? Shout out to Paolo and his buddy Ian, who actually, really shout out to their other buddy who had bought a ticket to the Wizards Mavs game on Friday, but then bailed, so I got to go for free in some primo seats and watch the Wizards stomp the Mavericks. But at least got to see Doncic live, which was
nice.
Very entertaining. Yeah.
Sweet. From Boise, Idaho, out west, it's our enforcer, John Harper.
What is going on, fellas? Slightly belated happy birthday to the bartender.
Shout out.
Shout out. He is, I think he's doing some meditative retreat, reflecting on his birthday this week. So he's going to be out. I want to give a quick shout out to the Xavier Musketeers.
Yeah.
Winning the NIT in a close one. So they are, what are they, officially the 65th best team? 60, I don't know how many teams they do.
I think there's 68 or something like that in the tournament because they have those play-in games now.
Well, that makes them the 69th best team. Nice.
Nice. Yeah, particularly interesting. Have you been following the season or at all, or you don't know? So they started out okay, and then they just bombed in the Big East season once the regular season started. So they fired the coach at the end of the season prior to the NIT, and then they went on a run in the NIT. Meanwhile, announcing who the next coach would be, and so the interim coach is just a lame duck, but they still went on to win
chopped liver.
The NIT. So yeah, shout out to them.
Nice. Before we get into the show, I'd like to remind you can support us, the longest running Pacers podcast, by heading over to patreon.com/undebeatables, and you can support us for as little as $1 per month. Thanks to everybody who's doing that. Well, guys, we had 4 games of Pacers basketball. As I mentioned, they lost all 4 of them. The first game they lost was to Atlanta. Monday, March 28th, lose this one 132 to 123. It was kind of interesting for a bit, but it didn't get great. Buddy Hield dropped 26 though. Tyrese Halliburton looking good, 25 and 13 from him, and Kiefer Sykes chipping in 16 along the way. But boy, on the Atlanta side, Kevin Huerter 22, Clint Capella 22, Trae Young held to 14 points. I think Kiefer Sykes kept him in check. I think that's what that was.
Yeah. did dole out 16 assists while he wasn't there.
That's because, he's got one job, and it's to force Trae Young to pass to somebody else that's going to score. So he did that. Second game of the week, Wednesday, March 30th. Pacers taking on the Denver Nuggets. And guess what? They let in 43 in the first quarter again. And chipping in 15 of their own to put that one to bed real early. It got way more interesting than it should have been. The end was actually real close. And they were down with 31 at some point in the first half, and then took the lead into the third quarter. Like they took in the third quarter, took the lead, and then Detroit was able to close out the game. But Pacers didn't make it easy, but it also wasn't easy to watch the first half of the game. So, Buddy Hield dropping 20. Terry Taylor looking good this game, 18 points, 9 rebounds. But boy, Jokic dropped 37, 13, and 9. Goga was not the answer to that question.
He's the answer to who's going to let Jokic score every time.
Yeah. Also, that game was with DeMarcus Cousins coming off the bench. It was Goga had the 1-2 punch of guys that were just better than him. I was the Cousins matchup in particular was just like Cousins was just going directly at him and moving him out of the way. And Goga, whatever, he tried his best to score 17 points, 10 rebounds of his own, but boy, it's a tough matchup for anybody. Third game of the week, Friday, April 1st, April Fool's Day. Pacers take on the Boston Celtics, losing this one 123 to 128. I talked to Colson about this game, and he was really excited about the plays the team was running, but it wasn't. I didn't think we were going to take this one. We did not. Tyrese Halliburton picked up 30 this game, looking real good. And I think that's what Colson was probably the most excited about was Halliburton's performance, running the offense. O'Shea Brissett with 17. But on the Boston side, Jason Tatum with 31 and Jaylen Brown of 32. Those two guys have done about that every time we played them this season. We have no answers for that this season, at least. Last game of the week. This was this afternoon or early evening. Pacers taking on the Detroit Pistons. Pacers lose 117 to 121. This game was actually a little back and forth. Pacers looking good in the first half, and Detroit taking it away in the second half. O'Shea Brissett with 20 starting, 15 for Terry Taylor, and Halliburton and Hield with 19 each. Sadiq Bey looking good, 31 points from the Detroit side. Isaiah Jackson back in action, 19 off the bench. Dwayne Washington Jr. looking good with 12 points from him. So, it's an 0-4 week of basketball. It's hard to get super excited. There's bright spots out there. Harbor, what were some bright spots you took away from this lossless game, or lossless week of basketball, heading into the end of the season here real soon?
Well, certainly thankful for the lossless week. Appreciate it. Doing our work well. I mean, we're just on Halliburton watch the rest of the season, and he had a heck of a week. He was in double digits for assists in every one of these games, except for the Boston game, where he was almost perfect from the floor. He was 10 of 11, 6 of 6 from three-point land, laid down 30 points. Obviously, we couldn't do much to stop their Tatum-Brown combo, but Halliburton had a heck of a game. He had 17 dimes in that Detroit game, so he's been fun to watch. He had a really solid week. Team clearly loves playing with them, and he just has not had a lot of bad games since he's been here, and he's the best player on our team every night. So it's not like other teams aren't thinking about him. They're probably not spending a ton of time game planning for the Pacers at this point, but he's the guy that you want to stop if you were. And we were competitive this week. Like you said, especially that Denver game, being down 30 and then having a lead in the fourth quarter was really something. It was a gritty game, and at the end of the day, we got what we needed, which was some solid play, good experience, and an L to get us closer to the lottery.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it's a good thing that the Pacers, as Colson mentioned, are running some offense and scoring some points, because that's our only chance at keeping these games competitive, because teams scored over 120 in every game this week.
Which reminds me, I forgot about Haiku Corner.
Oh, we got a haiku to wrap this up.
We do.
All right.
It's the Champagne Poems. Poems. How does it go? It's the Champagne Poems.
It's the haiku life, the Champagne of Poems.
Haiku. Okay,
Corner.
There you go. Corner. All right. A la Colson. One begins to see rough outline of productive offense. Not yet D.
Yes, definitely not yet D.
Yeah, to your point, Jason. Yeah, it was we are a sieve on defense, but the offense was fun to watch.
Yeah, and I mean, critical loss against Detroit there. I mean, in a good
Big
way.
time.
So
Yeah,
we're in a position now. The Pacers, we're winding down the season, so we only have 3 games left. But if the Pacers were to lose out and Detroit were somehow to win out, Detroit would jump the Pacers in the standings, and the Pacers would then have the 4th worst record and improve their lottery odds just ever so much, which might be worthwhile. Not counting those chickens before they're hatched, because I don't think Detroit is going to win. So.
No, that seems unlikely. But importantly, we do have 2 games on Portland. After ripping off that weird winning streak, they've now lost 6 straight. So they're still sitting on those 27 wins. But we've got a little bit of breathing room as we look forward to the end of the season. Should be able to, at worst, close out at the 5 spot.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And shout out to your boy Lance Stevenson, Joey, who in that Boston game after Halliburton got fouled out, was really a catalyst down the stretch and kept it close. That game was way more interesting than Boston wanted it to be. I mean, kudos to them. They're a very, very good team, and they executed down the stretch and made all the shots that they needed to, but they were a missed shot or 2 away from just throwing that game away, which really surprised me.
We were nipping at their heels all night.
Yeah, given the fact that they were coming into that game riding 2 losses, and the Pacers had, throttled them the last time they saw them. So you would have thought they would have had a little more juice coming into that game. But good on the Pacers for being very efficient, specifically Mr. Halliburton.
Yeah, mostly Halliburton. Yeah, I definitely made him work for it. And, Boston has been hot the second half of the season, so you got to think maybe it's just, a little fatigue maybe setting in and overlooked us a little bit. But, that's guys should make them work if that's going to be the attitude that they bring to the court. I'm with you. They did not bring their A game.
That's true. Yeah.
Also, Lance showing up for that Denver game, trying to make some trouble.
Yeah. So what was the story? He got into it with Austin Rivers, and then they got a double tech, and then Austin Rivers threw a fake elbow. Didn't land, but I didn't even see the play actually. But I heard about it on all the sports talk radio stuff or whatever. Faked an elbow, but didn't connect with Lance, and then that got Austin Rivers tossed out of the game, and people were saying it was egregious. What did you see the interaction, Harper?
The first one, I thought Austin may have, Lance was kind of giving him the business, but he definitely overreacted a little bit. We were on a big run. You just got to handle your business. I thought he was out of line. I didn't see the second one, so I'm agnostic on that.
Lance being Lance.
Lance being Lance, he's getting in Austin Rivers' head.
For sure.
Yeah.
Did you watch any games this week, Joey? Or you?
Yeah, I watched. I mean, I guess there was. I didn't get to see all of them, but the one I was able to spend the most attention on was that Denver game, and Justin Anderson getting hot a little bit, and hitting some threes, getting the team back into the game, and Terry Taylor doing what he does, getting some tough boards, and still don't quite understand how that happens a lot of times because there's people. He's looking up at the other players, and then he just gets the board anyway. But in getting 18 points in the mix, also,
And 8 offensive rebounds for Terry Taylor in that game. Like, that's incredible.
Yeah. But yeah, I was, I'm doing the wrong thing. I still root for the team to win, I keep forgetting that, it's hard to overcome that, and then, it comes late and I'm still bummed out and I hate that, I need to suppress my emotions and become one with the mathematics, but it's still hard to watch the team lose. But just the fact that they had really fought back in that game and made it tough, and Denver went super cold, and the Pacers took advantage and I thought we were gonna get a W out there, but luckily we didn't.
Yeah, I agree with you. It is. I find myself also rooting for them to pull these games off, but the nice thing, I guess, I have embraced the mathematics in the sense that once they don't, I'm like, there you go. I don't go to bed angry.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Cool. That's good. Just move on to my next activity and count the lottery balls. It's good.
Yeah. I think that you guys mentioned that there's been some official shutdowns. T.J. Warren officially, shockingly, has been shut down for the season, which I didn't know he had started anything for the season. But and Miles Turner as well. I guess I didn't expect either of them. I don't expect to see, anybody that starts. I don't expect to see them except for Halliburton and maybe Heald. I don't expect to see them for the rest of the season, but they're officially done. So Miles Turner can I don't know, spend some more time with his Lego collection or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You guys see that those videos of his? Oh, he's got some good stuff. He's showing those off.
Yeah, I would imagine that there's no Lego kit beyond his grasp.
Sure. I mean, the Star Destroyer is huge.
Yeah, I guess it is impressive for a guy that big. His hands are monstrous.
Right.
Have the dexterity to do, tiny little Lego things.
Maybe he's got a niece or nephew or something. It's for the small pieces or something.
Can you put this in here for me, please? Or maybe, it'd be cool if for kids, like Ethan, we just got him some Duplo blocks or whatever, which are Lego blocks, but 10 times the size or something like that, so they can't swallow them. Maybe Miles Turner has to get those size Lego sets, in order for it to seem normal.
It's a life-size Star Destroyer. It's nice.
Exactly.
Yes, that thing is huge. He's got a Titanic one, which is monster. Maybe the Lego thing, maybe it's training. It's a dexterity training for him.
Okay.
Yeah, it must be.
Oh, yeah.
Can expect his handles to be much better next year, thanks to all his Lego building.
Yeah, this is probably some next level. it's in the off season. It's to work on your work on your hook, work on your footwork, and build the Eiffel Tower.
Out of Lego bricks.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, we haven't gotten the official word on Brogdon yet. Is he officially shut down or no? Because
not as
he
yet,
didn't play this week. At least I didn't notice him in the box scores at all. But
I don't know what they're waiting for.
Yeah, and at this point, there's 3 games left, so who cares? If you're like, do you need to have an official shutdown message?
Are they worried that it's that the league is going to come down on them for tanking now? When they sit Brogdon.
It's always a danger. Yeah. So I mentioned those 3 games. The Pacers close out with a very tough schedule. I mean, not that it matters, but hosting the 76ers on Tuesday this week, and then a back-to-back Saturday and Sunday at Philly and at Brooklyn. Those games don't have game times yet. They're TBD because there may be playoff implications, so you wouldn't want I don't know. I guess they try to play all the games at the same time that are
right.
that might impact one another or whatever. So, I mean, both Philly and Brooklyn are playing for positioning, obviously. So, Philly currently sits in the 4 seed, but only a half game behind the 3 seed and a game behind the 2 seed. And Brooklyn is in the 10th seed, but not even percentage points. It's a tiebreaker behind Charlotte, and then a game behind Atlanta for the 8th seed.
But presumably they would like to get out ahead of them, so they only have to win 1 game as opposed to 2, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's pretty meaningful, yeah.
Yeah, so they definitely have something to play for, and then Philly. Who knows? I guess if the playoffs started today, they would play Toronto and host them. But they're just trying to get their act together because they haven't been playing super well since the Harden trade. Came out of the gates hot, but then have slowed down since.
Brooklyn's struggling as well. Lost 2 straight, including a game where KD scored 55. Not necessarily what you're looking for.
No. So, yeah. Predictions?
We got
so. Yeah,
we're gonna play
I think
playoff spoiler.
Whenever I call the 0 sweep, they win. So I'm going 2-1 again. Sticking with 2-1.
Sounds good. Joseph,
I think we're gonna win out for
all right,
no
I
reason.
like it. Yeah, I think it's hard to lose both games to the same team back to back, like Philly. We play those guys twice, so we'll split that. So we'll go 1 and 2, I think.
All right,
Yeah,
1 and 2 gets us where we
Kyrie
need to
can
go.
play in the Brooklyn game, so they open it up so that he can play. So it's not like we get a Kyrie-less Nets in that game. So
Should be fun seeing him and Halliburton go at each other. That could be a fun one.
For sure.
KD is going to score 110, but
Yeah, maybe we could just negotiate beforehand and be like, all right, we'll chalk KD up for like 62, and then you just let us play 5-on-4 and see what happens.
You think they're going to put Kiefer Sykes on KD?
I don't even think KD would see Kiefer Sykes. Like,
That is fair. That's fair. Oh, boy. It's weird. I don't know. It's weird. It's weird for me to, like, be at this point of the season and just be like, well, it's almost over.
this doesn't happen to us as Pacer fans.
No,
It's
I know.
completely new territory. We haven't done this for
been very, very lucky.
You know,
literally like 30 years.
I don't, there's like going into the playoffs and getting hammered, like, at least I knew what to do with that. But this is different, like,
Sure.
Getting swept out of the playoffs. Like, listen, we all remember McMillan, like, that was part of that territory. But, this is different. And, we've missed playoffs before, but this is a next level thing, So, yeah. So we just got three games left.
Yeah. Where does the time go?
I know.
I feel like the season went fast.
I know. But you know what happened? I think it was when the wheels fell off. It was probably heading downhill, and it was picking up speed as it went along.
Yeah. Normally losing those wheels slows you down, but not this team. They powered right through that.
Not this train. Choo choo.
All right. So if the Pacers lose out, this will be the third worst season of all time in franchise history.
Wow.
In 82-83, we won 20 games. And in 84-85, won 22 games. Boy, the mid-80s were horrible. 83-84, 26. 85-86, 26. 88-89, 28 wins.
Yeah, that 88-89 season, we had 4 coaches. Ramsey, Daniels,
Dick
Irvin, and
Versace.
Versace.
4 coaches. After 3 that maybe it's not the coach's fault. Anyway. Well, team, we'll be back with you on Thursday, regardless of how many games this team wins. We'll still be here. Until then, you can hit us up on social media. We are on Twitter at Undebeatables, Facebook.com/The Undebeatables. Our website is theundebeatables.com. There's a contact form there. You can use that to send us a message, and you can email us. Shout out at theundebeatables.com. And at the website /store, you can get yourself a shirt.
And for the architect, Donnie Walsh, and our once and always coach, Bobby Slick Leonard, who did not have any of these 20-win season crappers. Bobby Slick Leonard, turn out the lights. The party is over.
That's a good one.
I tried to do it like, when you play a record backwards or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Slick's worst season, he won 31 games.
Oh, okay, so he did have one crapper.
Did have one crapper.
Everybody's allowed one.
Yeah.
The old saying goes.
Wait, is that the same? Everyone...
Of course. Old Thomas Crapper.
Oh.
Old crapper.